Never, ever get tired of it. Never do. Just get you into the mood, like we're riding into battle, forming up a posse to save the day, hunt down the rustlers. Just can you get any more Americana than that? So we are back once again for another exciting episode of Pony Express Radio. I am of course, Mr. RedHawk, joined as ever by Mr. Pete Quinones. How are you, Pete?
Doing good.
And we got our chief chimping correspondent, our simian of Central Command. Raging Mandrill is back once again. How are you, my friend?
Doing good.
Alrighty. As always, a couple housekeeping things really quickly to address before we get into the stories for tonight. As everybody knows, the cold winds are rising. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. The snow is coming, which means that White Boy Summer has tragically come to a close. But you can still get in peak physique and physical shape for the next White Boy Summer for it to return once again by heading on over to Axios Remote Fitness and Coaching. Link in the description. You guys can get shredded over there. Also, if you want to stay up during these dark nights, it's already, like pitch black outside, with this daylight savings time stuff, which, by the way, we should just get rid of. I like how Arizona does it, where they just don't deal with this stuff at all. I'm sick and tired of looking outside at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and it's already pitch black outside. It's just completely unacceptable. Cannot be allowed. But if you need to stay awake during these dark, cold winter months, please get your caffeine fix with Fox & Sons coffee. I, of course, am not a coffee drinker, but many people in the OGC Central and those beyond have given fantastic reviews for Fox & Sons coffee. Again, the link is in the description. And finally, you guys need to get your nicotine fix because every man needs a vice. And, we just happen to be big fans of Big Tobacco over here at the OGC. So head on over to Alp Nicotine Pouches. Again, link in the description. So, all right, fellas, why don't we jump into the stories? So, interestingly enough, I was on last night with the Nathaniel Green Society guys, and we were talking about a topic I love more so than any other, the topic of hunting. And those guys, as everybody knows, based in North Carolina. And we actually were talking about this after the show. I don't know too much about this state, but those guys informed me that, in fact, yes, North Carolina is a hotbed for illegal immigrants. I never would have guessed. I've driven through the state many times, but I actually don't know too much about it. So I was surprised to hear this, and I saw everybody else was talking about this. So here we go. Here are some pictures from elementary schools in North Carolina. Teacher has her students hold their heads down so that she could take a picture of the classroom that none of the students showed up. This was a class of around 25 kids, and 15 of them are gone. So there's like 10 left, so you have over a majority of the class. And as our friend of the show, Don the Pleb, points out here, as of 2023, it costs $12,492 per year for a student in the public school system there. That means that in this classroom, in just this one video, that's $187,000 of illegal immigrants they've been paying to educate per year. And this, of course, came out when it was announced that ICE is going to start doing some raids throughout North Carolina, and they just kept all of their kids at home. It's like a snow day, apparently, for these kids. The Migra are here. We got to lock our kids in the house. So where do we start with this one, boys?
I just love the name ICE of TikTok because it reminds me of Libs of TikTok.
It's funny. I mean,
well,
it's probably intentional.
It was something that I saw that Star Wars name guy, Cato, Alex, Star Wars name, bragging about a couple years ago in a paper that 26% of the students in public schools were either immigrants or the children of immigrants. That's one quarter. One quarter.
I mean, which
but we only have 12 million illegals here.
Oh yeah, I mean that number is just so unbelievably ridiculous, and that's the number they've been giving since Reagan was in office. That's before he gave amnesty. The number is significantly higher, and that's just counting the ones that actually came in, over the border and stuff, actually illegally. That's not even counting their kids. who apparently are just as red-blooded American as the three gentlemen here on the show. You just walk right over the southern border, squat in a hospital, pop out a kid. Oh yeah, that person is just as American as James Madison. Well, it's just so ridiculous. And this ties into many other topics as well, not just like the actual money cost associated with this, but just think about, we're looking at things like education numbers, and we see these figures and graphs of like the average IQ of Americans has, shrank rapidly over the last like 25 years. And, a lot of people will attribute this to things like, the rise of social media, and people just aren't paying attention to classes, and a myriad of other factors, some of which are undoubtedly true. But I think they also pull cover for the simple fact that, if you have a classroom like this that is over 50% illegal immigrant Mexican, it's like, do you expect like your kids to actually be learning in this environment? There's no way. And of course, we hear stories all the time of, not only do these kids not speak the language, but we don't even know what age they are. So sometimes you get these like ridiculous circumstances where you get, guys that are well into their like puberty years, like 16, 17-year-olds are in like 8th grade classrooms or something like that, because they just lie about their age. So of course there's going to be a bunch of issues that rises from that. So it's just a bad, unbelievable system all around that, you just come into the United States and you get a free K through 12 education in, what should nominally be like the most intelligent country on the entire planet, but there's more exploitation, man, every day.
The I don't know if anybody saw it. I can't remember what her name is. I'm kind of looking for it now on Twitter. But there was some woman who was bragging about how her church, and she didn't say what kind of church it was, and she looked it up. It was a Baptist church in North Carolina, would be a safe haven. That they were not only taking people in to protect, illegals in to protect them, but they had classes on teaching how to teach illegals to avoid ICE. She was bragging about this openly, and when you looked at her account, looked like a right winger. I mean, a conservative. I'm sorry, a Republican, whatever that means anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this kind of dovetails nicely to the other discussions that people have been having this week about the whole issue with the H-1B stuff that we're constantly talking about. And, there's like this ridiculous argument that some people are making that, once we just have these H-1B people over here, they're only going to stay for a couple of years to teach Americans how to, do various like technology things or what have you, even though we're the ones that built all the tech in the first place. So why do we need Indians to come over here and teach us? But we'll ignore that for a second. The argument being is that, we're going to really be sure to monitor these people with a magnifying glass and watch them like a hawk. So as soon as they are here, we're going to make sure that they leave at the right time, totally ignoring that circumstance we just had a couple of weeks ago with the Koreans at the what was it, the Hyundai factory? Was that correct? That they were just like overstaying their visas. It's like, guys, we are having a hard enough time dealing with all the courts to deport like literal gangbangers and rapists, and you think that somehow like they're going to be on top of making sure these H-1B guys actually leave when their visas are up? This is just clown world, man. This is ridiculous. We shouldn't be letting any of these people in, period, and we need to just be deporting millions upon millions of people. That's the only solution. There's no other way around this. There's no like, we just need to make sure that we push for more assimilation, and things will be fixed if companies are going to pay this $100,000 H-1B visa thing. The people are already getting around this because the Indians have found a way to scam by using the Canadian immigration system. They just go to Canada for 1 year and then they apply for a different kind of work visa from Canada as opposed to a third world shithole, and they just get over here faster that way. Can we just have people finally admit what this is all about? Like, are Americans allowed to have a country? Are we allowed to have an economy that actually works for us? Are we allowed to have an education system that actually works for us? And we're not just educating, employing, and financing all 8.5 billion people on the entire planet.
I mean, this is the central question of our time, isn't it, RedHawk? I mean, like, one sees these kinds of situations and like, one immediately imagines, great replacement posting on Twitter. You got the literal book that Valbon book posts all the time.
I'm gonna say this again. I just see, I see people who I know who are just, oh, look at what they're trying to do for the economy. Look at this. Look at that. Look at. I mean, if the economy was somewhat improving, and it would just help our guys, I'd be, our people, Americans, I'd be fine with that. But the economy proving helps these fuckers stay here. And, it's like, I don't care about the economy. I mean, I learned this from shit libs. Demographics are destiny. Okay. Well, let's run with that. Let's just run with that for a while. And how about just run with that for until the 2028 election? If you just concentrate on that and nothing else, I'll be perfectly fine. I'll be perfectly fine with it. Even if like the value of housing halves, I'll be fine with it. Get rid of these fucking people. The price will go, what it's worth will go back up.
I mean, it just proves that this is the central issue of our time. Like, it's a question of, do you want to have a country of your own, or, do you want to be poor, basically? I mean, if you're going to be poor either way, if your material conditions aren't improving either way, because that's just the nature of the economy at the moment, well, I'm going to be poor and I'm going to have a country of my own. I don't want to be poor and not be like, an atomized individual amongst other groups that are hostile to me and my interests.
Yeah, here's another perfect tweet that shows this one as well. I mean, people have made references to this in other cities before that ice like shows up. I mean, famously, there was like LA over the summertime when ice showed up and magically all the traffic just goes away and stuff. And here, again, another prime example of it. Charlotte, North Carolina probably is the most populated city in the entire state. I'm not positive about that, but that would be my intuition. And look at this. Traffic just magically disappears. When people just go and hide in their holes like rats, when the ice comes to town and is going to deport them, amazingly, a lot of other quality of life things just increase. This is just so obvious. It's not just about the cost of living as it relates to housing or the issues with crime or the issues with the groceries being expensive because demand is hyped up, or your kids aren't getting paid attention to in class properly. It's just simple things like this. Traffic deaths, the amount of time you have to be in a commute instead of being at home with your family.
I've said this over and over again. Whether it's waiting in line at Walmart or waiting in line to go to confession, get 40 million people out of here, and I'll be spending 10% of that time doing either.
It's so obvious that almost all of our problems that we have in this country right now, as it relates to the economy and as it relates to just the overall quality of life of the average American and what their hometowns have turned into, would just be solved. It would just deported a bunch of people. And yes, I don't care if the economy takes a huge nosedive because of that. I don't. I mean, most people our age are already doing bad. So it's like, oh wow, you're going to do like a little bit worse or something. It's like, well, I'd rather do worse and have a country than do moderately better and not have a country, right? It's just the trade-off that many people are coming to at this point, and people are getting radical, man. Like, I'm really seeing. People know that
it's real. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're getting madder, Mandrill. I mean, we've been commenting on it. I mean, it's just. You and I are millennials, and we see it. And I'm like, listen, I'm becoming more and more sympathetic to these guys' positions, like, by the day. And some of them now at this point are just getting really open about it. They're like, oh, I just want to cut all Social Security and just destroy the entire welfare state, like for the old and the boomers. It's like, I mean, you know what, guys? I can't really blame you at this point.
I mean, they're not going to get it anyway. We're not going to get it either way, I don't think. But
yeah.
I mean, this is the entire issue, is like, you can no longer make the economic argument for migration. In fact, any sort of migration, whether legal or illegal, needs to be stopped. Just plain and simple. You need to get all of the people who don't belong here out. You need to cut off the flow of new immigration immediately. What this will do economically is it opens up spots. And if you are a recent graduate, your chance of being unemployed is what, 48%, 58% unemployment?
Yeah, I think it's 44. Yeah, which is
40.
so almost 50%. So like almost 1 in 2 people waste 4 years of their youth, waste in most cases 6 figures, in student loan debt that they're never going to pay off for the rest of their lives. And what do they have to show for it at the end? It's like you can't even get a job with it either. This thing that everyone was lied into doing and saying, well, even to work at McDonald's, I need a fucking bachelor's degree. This is just a joke.
Yeah, and
Look,
this is the other issue. This is the other issue too. Is like you can make the degree the marker of status, but you got to restrict the newcomers from getting those degrees. Like this is the other issue that everybody complains about, which is the student foreign exchange program or the foreign student programs, right? All of those people don't leave. They get degrees and then they immediately compete with the people in their class for a job, right? And if they are a person of certain extractions racially, then they are going to get affirmative action preference. That is just a fact. And so you have people who literally are coming here and they get special preference just immediately. So that's a huge issue.
Look, I'm old, but you don't have to be as old as I am to remember a time when you could walk in New York City and like 85% of the people were white. You could go to Yankee Stadium and sit in the bleachers, which when I was a kid, it was $1.50 to sit in the bleachers, and 80% of the bleachers was white in the Bronx. I mean, right now, I would assume at Yankee Stadium, there's probably not a lot of people of color because that same bleacher ticket is like $100. It went from $1.50 to $100. Last time I went up to a game up there, I had to pay $135 for a ticket. But I mean, that's only just goes to show you that, the only way you're going to be able to, it's like the famous James Kirkpatrick tweet. You have to make enough money to avoid the consequences of the Civil Rights Act, and of the Hart-Celler Act.
And it's like, and that money becomes more and more they have to make every year, which is like a point I brought up last week about how we're allegedly going to get these like $2,000 like stimmy checks from the tariffs for everyone under 100K. It's like, dude, like 100K is like literally nothing now. That was like the goal that everyone had when I was growing up. It's like, oh yeah, I want to make that 6-figure income. And then like, what does that 100K get you today? You can't even buy a fucking house with 100K a year.
I mean, it's just total bullshit. Like, oh my gosh. It's such a stupid policy idea too, because we literally just did this with fucking COVID. You printed a shit ton of money to give people stimulus checks. What did they do with it? They spent all of it on, buying new guns, bullshit, and doing Wall Street bets shit. Yeah. Wall Street bets shit. We're on like GameStop stonks, like in crypto.
Well, I was going to say you can still get houses for $100,000, but you're going to live in places where you're going to have to work from home. And if you're working from home, I mean, most people who work from home, I assume they're probably doing better than most people who are, going to a physical job. But I don't know. It's just that's, it got to the point where people had to leave the city because it got too expensive. So they went to the suburbs. Then the suburbs got too expensive. Then so people had to go to the exurbs, whatever whoever came up with that term, shoot them. Now you just basically have to go as rural as fuck in order to be able to, find a house for the same price that you could find it for 25, 30 years ago in the suburbs. I remember when I moved to Fort Lauderdale after high school, you could get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the North Lauderdale section of Broward County, where Fort Lauderdale is, for $69,000. That house now is like $400,000 or $500,000.
Yeah, I was about to say like almost $500,000, probably. Yeah. Jeez, unbelievable. And I think the thing that is just the most frustrating out of all of this, and people have been banging the drum on this for months now, and which was perfectly said in Tucker Carlson's excellent show last night. It's amazing. I was just talking about this to guys in the chat about how, I haven't really been, impressed with too many of Tucker's shows recently. He's kind of just been quiet. And then last night he just drops a bombshell like this one. And he just lays it out. Like every single issue that the youth of the right wing have been talking about, and really is the most important things to need to be addressing, because these are the ones who are, number one, losing support for Trump the fastest, and number two, are going to be the vanguard for the future of any movement like this. And just nobody, not a single Republican politician. You could just clean slate the entire board from the House, the governorship, the senators, get rid of literally all of them. And none of them are talking about the issues that these people actually care about. And so people are getting radical and they're getting pissed. And I can't blame them, man.
I mean, I just love this map on the screen here because it's just a perfect example of every single concentric ring of the circle of a major city representing yet another wave of white flight. I mean, it's just every single time you see this, every major city looks exactly like this, and for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. Jumping off of this topic about how Republican and the GOP are just completely ignoring their base on this issue, there are some Democrats who are not actually, and they are moving and pivoting rapidly for the midterms right here, which from where I'm standing, it looks like it's going to be a total bloodbath for the GOP unless they really start shifting on the domestic front come next year. We'll see what happens. But look at Amy Acton here from Ohio, who's running against Vivek Ramaswamy for the governorship there. And this is just so amazing because this is the famous, Great Christmas H-1B debate from last year. And shocker, shocker, this is coming back to haunt Vivek. And so here's Amy Acton here saying, Vivek Ramaswamy told us how he really feels when he said that Ohioans aren't succeeding because they're lazy and mediocre and watching too much TV. That line right there could have literally come from like Aaron McIntyre or something. It really just shows you that the Democrats just don't care at all about like principles or anything. It's just all about power nonstop. They'll shift like a chameleon, from one moment to the next. And, oh, we're going to flank Vivek to the right on immigration and H-1Bs right now. And it's certainly showing in the polls where I think he's down now too. It was a plus 12 state that went for Trump, and now it's going -2, because the GOP just can't help themselves put these awful diversity candidates up everywhere they go. But let's continue here, what she says. That couldn't be further from what I'm seeing on the ground every day. Ohioans are working harder than ever. They're doing everything right, and they just can't get enough breathing room. These are facts. Ohio needs a governor who listens, understands, and who's ready to bring down costs on day one. Everything she said there is 100% correct. It just is problematic because it's coming from her mouth, and the second she's going to be in there, she's just going to, give infinity money for welfare coins and import a shit ton of people. So, I mean, the Democrats are evil, but at least they're actually saying the correct things.
Well, the first sentence is proper. The rest of it is just typical campaign bullshit. Someone who listens, understands, and will bring down costs on day one. No explanations how you're going to do that. So about how Ohioans are working harder than ever. They're doing everything right, but people like Vivek are in the have flooded the country, so we need to clear them out. That's where she's just not willing to go. I mean, she can, she's not saying anything here about, she's talking about the obvious prejudice and bigotry that he has towards, white Americans. But she's not going after what the problem is. If she wants Ohioans to have a better life, you need to deport like 25 million Vivek Ramaswamys. But she's not saying that. But I mean, it is a good strategy coming, she's basically attacking the right from the right, which is not a stupid thing to do, but we know exactly what she's going to do. She's going to probably just flood more in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's not dumb. They're just evil.
I mean, it's the classic Tony Blair strategy that we're all familiar with. This is like, I'm just going to say something vaguely right-wing and say something about your concerns in this emotionalistic language, but it's not actually going to change any policy.
No, but it still is going to work at the polls, and she's going to win. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, I guess Ohio still has a time for allegedly like a primary, but I've heard back and forth about this that like that's not technically true because the GOP is just going to strong arm him through in March anyway because they've already endorsed him. So even though they technically have a time frame to have like a primary and find somebody new, it's the GOP is just they're just going to go down with the Titanic on this one. And to be
Well, that's
honest, if I was a person in Ohio, I mean, I know who I would be voting for.
yeah. I mean, that's the question. Is gun to the head. Who do you vote for? And most of our guys are going to be cowards and go and act like libertarians and go, well, they're both bad. I'm not going to. I'm not. But no, if you're in Ohio, vote for the white woman, even if she's a total shitlib. Make a statement. This is my personal opinion. This isn't Old Glory Club policy. I'm saying that's what I would do, and fuck you if you want to if you want to criticize me for it. I'm sorry. This fucker and the rest of his people got to go. I'm sorry. It's almost a psyop at this point with the Indians, because they make you forget about like everyone else. They make you forget about, the Guatemalans and the Mexicans who poured over the border, because, they're just so vile.
Yeah, it's just like,
sorry.
I just want a country that everybody else has, man. And, this isn't a radical opinion at all. And that's the thing that kind of gets me like riled up the most these days, is when you have like conversations with, Con Inc. or conservative boomers or something like this. It's like, well, that's really radical. It's like, what are you talking about? That's just having a country. Is having a country radical? It's just, what are you people smoking?
It's Day of the Villa.
I really hope that Vivek's somewhere on the campaign trail. Like, oh God, do you guys remember when the train derailed like in Ohio last year or something? I mean, wouldn't it be hilarious if like Vivek did like a campaign speech or something about like an environmental issue or something? He was right next to the train tracks. The memes would write themselves. So.
I mean, he should be careful about that. Indians have some trouble with it, being next to trains and all.
It's the silent predator. Yes, you never know when it strikes.
That is just so. What is it, like 30 Indians a day in India get killed by trains?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Oh, I mean, could you imagine if that was happening here? Like 30, like I don't know. I think if it was happening here and it was Indians, they'd probably step in to save them. Their own country won't step in to save them, but our government's so fucking cucked. They would.
Yeah, it's like you hear like the stories out of like Australia where they go out of their way to have like these like commercials for like the abos not to sniff the gasoline and stuff. It'd be like kind of like the same thing here. It's like to Mojit and Somhan, coming fresh off the boat from New Delhi, do not step in front of the trains.
Do not eat the poopy.
No. Anyway, well, so turning our attention away from the state of Ohio, let's turn our attention to a different state. And this time we're going to take a look at Texas, where a federal judge has declared that, Republicans just apparently, can't redistrict. It's just illegal for Republicans to redistrict states now, even though Democrats do it literally all the time, not to mention all the free seats that they get from the VRA, But this is the world we're living in now. California, just a couple weeks ago, redistricted their entire state. A federal judge comes in and says, nope, Texas, you can't do it.
I mean, California has to do it, though, because they're losing so much population every single election cycle that, on average, they're losing at least one electoral vote every single time, one district, basically. So, I mean, it makes sense for them to do that, right? That's just a power thing. But yeah, this is strange. Like the map, these two. So this is from the New York Times from a couple of years ago, but these are the maps, right? This is the previous map on the left, and the I guess the one that the GOP wanted on the right. And you can see that it's taking, several leaning districts and turning them more solidly red, basically. And that's a good thing overall, essentially, for the GOP, but that's probably not going to happen. So,
they want us to trust the plan. How are you supposed to trust the plan when you can't even get redistricting done, when a judge can just step in and go, no, you can't do that. Well, what plan am I trusting? Thank you for the J6 prisoners. Thank you for basically closing the border. There's some other things in there, but all of that shit is just band-aids. The J6 prisoner stuff. Thank you. I mean, literally, that's not band-aid. That's an incredible thing. But everything else, just a band-aid. I mean, the economy, a band-aid. I mean, how many times are we going to say it this? How many times are we going to say this fucking stream? 40 million deported.
Yeah,
that's it. Until you get that, nothing. No, I don't care.
There are no half measures. There are no band-aid solutions left. We're reaching the end here. I mean, we're going to talk about this in a bit here with the response that one of the guys in the administration had this week to the Dems. But it's the time for doing these incremental half measures and stuff to save the country are over. They've been over for decades, and they were literally shot in the throat when Charlie Kirk was killed. It's what are we doing here at this point? It's already hard enough, when the GOP just intentionally does what they do best, right? And that is just be complete losers. When we can't even get people in Indiana to even propose the redistricting part, they just cuck all over the place with that. But then when you actually do get it passed by a state legislature like this in Texas, then Joe Blow, suck dick, shows up to the job on Tuesday, judge, just says, oh no, you guys can't do this, even though it's you obviously can. People do this all the time. They do it in the states every election cycle season. But now, because it's going to give Republicans additional seats, it's oh no, now this is unconstitutional or something like this. Again, making reference to how the VRA just gives Democrats 12 free seats in the Deep South just because reasons. Well, it's historic racism. Therefore, Democrats get seats literally for forever.
I mean, I keep saying, if you deport the amount that has to be deported, the GOP would get, on average, about somewhere between 35 and 45 House seats. If you want to win in the future, you need to ensure mass deportations. You have to restructure the map in an electoral fashion. You have to ensure that these districts that are overwhelmingly deep blue in blue states or deep blue in red, red state cities, all of that stuff has to go away, right? You just need to do it. This is a matter of electoral survival for the GOP. You got to get this done. You just have to.
But Mandrill, don't you understand that if they score a touchdown, the other team gets the ball back?
Yeah. Well, you got to get it. You're coming up, you're halfway through the decade. You need to do this stuff before 2030, because that's when the next census is. And that's going to be yet another 10 years of electoral politics, basically, assuming that we still have a country by that point. But, you just need to get this stuff done. You just do.
So we're supposed to be planned truthers here. We get accused. I love that we got accused of that. So I did a episode of the Inquisition with Thomas 777, Stormy Waters, Astral, and Daryl Cooper joined us yesterday. Daryl Cooper says that a source he has inside the cabinet, inside the Trump cabinet, he said he's trying to figure out a way to get this information out there, which tells me he's trying to figure out how not to get his inside source in trouble while being able to release this information, probably to Tucker. Susie Wiles is basically saying you cannot have access to the White House unless you are putting $40,000 a month into my foundation or $200,000 a year. It's basically Tammany Hall bullshit. And anyone who knows anything about Susie Wiles is well, that sounds like her. I mean, I'm supposed to trust the plan when he can't fucking put people around him that are loyal to him? somebody who's paying for, I mean, you have to pay $40,000 a month or $200,000. She gives a bonus if you pay yearly. I mean, at least there's that to have access to the White House. Who can afford that? I mean, yeah, Planned Trusting days are over. Sorry.
Well, her last name is Wiles, so I mean, what do we expect?
I mean, who's running our account on YouTube? We've been accused of planned truce things, being Zionists and betraying Trump. Yeah, that's
It's just,
yeah.
It's crazy. we just get it from all sides. You know, it's just, guys, we just call it like we see it, man. You know, it's like that's all there really is to it. You know,
we want. See, here's the problem: is we want and we hope, because we're good people who are, you know, we're older than a lot of the anons who are just lunatics in the comments section and on the internet. You know, we have hope. These people have no hope whatsoever, and they see hope as like weakness. There's a reason there's a term hopium or copium or everything like that. No, we believe that we believe that there, you know, we can sometimes get the things we want, or at least we hope that. But apparently that hope is weakness. Apparently these people who say, you know, hopium or copium, they're so crushed as human beings that they have to, I mean, why are you even posting? What good do you think you're doing? Is this just your outlet? Go to a gym, buy a punching bag. Leave us alone. Go fuck yourselves.
yeah, it's very, very frustrating. Well, the situation we're in and the constant like name calling and stuff that's thrown back from people all the time. It's just, there's just so many more productive things we can't be doing. But, you know, alas, we got to get stuck, drawn down in the muck and the mire. No, it's just how it goes, right? Well, we're not done with Texas yet. Do you guys remember the famous George W. Bush line? You know, I remember this when I was growing up. This was plastered over the TV all the time when we were getting ready to launch the war on terror. Is we have to fight them over there so we don't fight them over here. And, well, let's take a look at how that's going in Texas right here. So here we go. So in just the last 24 months, 48 mosques have opened in Texas.
There's no way this is fucking organic.
Yep. I mean, we've covered on this show before the issues that are going on in places like Dearborn, Michigan, places like Minnesota, up in like St. Paul area, the issues in states like Maine, rural areas. We just got a kick in the gut with this, with the Mom Donnie shit in New York. It's like there are now 5 times as many people who practice the religion of Islam in the United States as there were during September 11th. 5 times as many.
I mean, it just proves who actually won the war on terror. Obviously, we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Well, you know, it's that thing of whenever you go to war, whenever the United States goes to war with somebody, they end up taking them in. Look, my dad's side of the family wouldn't have even been American citizens unless the United States didn't fucking declare war and annex a fucking island. And then they made them citizens in 1917. Why? So they could go fight in World War I. This fucking country has been doing stupid shit for a long time. Whenever we go to war, those people, they always fucking end up here.
Yeah. And it's like people just like have, you know, just like goldfish memories of this at this point, because we're seeing announcements like this with, oh, the Trump administration wants to get involved in Nigeria to help the Christian populations being persecuted there. And it's like, okay, you can have a position, whether or not, like, you know, you like the broader Christianity movement has like a duty to save like, Nigerians or something who practice like Christian in the nominal sense, but like, there's like Santeria and shit in there too. You can have that argument there, but it's like we've seen this all
Santeria is a
before.
Caribbean thing, not an African thing, as far as I know. But...
whatever, voodoo, whatever. It's all the same. But like we've seen this before, man. Like, I know what happens when we get involved in Somalia. I watched Black Hawk Down. It was really cool to watch our guys get in there and, mow down a bunch of people. It's a cool Ridley Scott movie, but I know what happened afterwards. They went over and they literally just dropped the entire town of Mogadishu in Minnesota, one of the whitest places in the entire country. It's like, oh, okay, now we're going to get involved in Nigeria. And Trump just tweeted out, or Truth Social, rather, just yesterday, oh, now the United States is going to get involved in Sudan. It's like, who? Oh, my God, who the fuck cares? Who cares about any of this shit?
Who is advising?
Literally another country. I can't find that amount.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Mandrill.
No, you're good. You're good, Pete. I mean, like, what is the point of this? Like, who is giving Trump this advice that we need to do this? Like, this is just bad idea after bad idea after bad idea. Like, he was literally voted in initially in 2016 on a platform of no new foreign wars. If you're getting us involved in putting troops on the ground, and you've already had the Syria thing. Okay, that's partially Trump's fault. That's partially the general's fault. Whatever. But I mean, you got in and elected on a platform of no new foreign wars, of not getting involved in stupid, dumb wars over in the third world, in the Middle East, and now we're getting involved in another place. It's like, no, we're done. We're done. We're absolutely fucking done with this bullshit.
America is falling apart and is held together with like toothpicks and glue, like at home right now. And it's like, oh, we're going to get involved and solve all of like the world's problems so Donald Trump can get a, Nobel Peace Prize or something, which they're never going to give to him because they hate his guts and will forever hate his guts. So it's like, why are we doing this stuff? Nobody gives a shit about fucking Sudan. The only thing I care about Sudan is I want to deport Myron Gaines back to it. No, that's the only thing I fucking care about that country for. It's like everyone is so sick of this foreign intervention stuff. We're done with it. Deal with the problems that we actually have at home. And what's even worse about this too is it'd be one thing if like we had wrapped up all of the other like previous engagements and Trump was like, oh, I'm on a string of wins here. I really got something going. We're bringing world peace. We're going from place to place, ending all the conflicts and stuff. But the two biggest giant ones that are staring us right in the face, we're still fucking involved in with this Israel nonsense and somehow Russia and Ukraine still. It's like, oh, okay, now we're just going to add on more stuff to this like raging inferno bonfire.
I mean, the Ukraine thing is particularly irritating to me. Like,
it could be ended in a day. Literally could have been ended in a day. The United States just like turns off the gravy train. When we're done in 5 minutes.
And the worst thing is we're not even equipped to go to war. We're equipped to bomb countries. That's it. There's no boots on the ground. Come on. Well, what did that Army War College paper say? There's enough troops. If it would have been the United States Army in Ukraine would have ran out of people. It would have ran out of troops in like a month and a half. It'd have been gone in like April of 2022.
Exactly.
There's no wars. They're just bombing people. And all that does is fucking make enemies out of everyone that they fucking bomb and they kill, because I mean, we basically learned from Israel, just bomb. Who cares? You kill innocent people. So what? What are they going to do? Oh, I mean, terrorism, send their people here all throughout Europe, then end up here. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, this really just, again, back to the picture that we have on screen here. This is just the 100% kill shot for anyone who's trying to get us involved in more foreign stuff. I mean, it's like you can make an argument, and I actually have a lot of sympathy for this argument about like the blowing up the Venezuelan boats thing is different, and I more or less agree with that. It's like, oh yeah, okay, a bunch of people are running drugs. I don't give a shit, blow it up. I mean, the fact that you do it in Caribbean waters or like 10 feet away from Miami Beach, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. But like it's just so obvious at this point to any of these like neocon liars or any of these like old boomer octogenarians that are somehow like advocating for whatever Fox News tells them. It's like, oh yeah, well we gotta get involved over here in Nigeria to protect the Christians. No, I mean it's like I don't want any Nigerians here. I don't care if they're Christian or not. I don't want any Sudanese here. I don't want any Somalians here. I don't want any Venezuelans here. I don't want any Ukrainians here. I don't want anybody here, period.
I mean, this is such a perennial problem with American politics, isn't it? Like, this is the same thing as Vietnam, as in, the war on terror, as in everything else. We give other groups far, far, far too much credit and far, far too much agency. This is the inherent issue. Like, why are we bringing in people as refugees? We have no obligation to them. It's their nation. It's their land. They're supposed to fight for it. You can provide money and aid, maybe, but of course, it's never debated, is it? It's just done, right? We don't get a choice in whether or not that stuff happens. For my part, I just get very frustrated with this whole situation because it's just like I mean, number one, you don't get choice, but like, why exactly are all of these people like given special credit after the war is over, right? Like the refugee thing needs to just completely end. I'm sorry, it does. Like nobody ever goes home. Nobody ever goes back to their country once relations are normalized or this political situation stabilizes. This just never ends. And we give people far too much credit.
Hey, we just killed that guy's family. Let's bring him here.
Exactly.
It's literally our foreign policy. That's like that is like the kosher foreign policy. That's how kosher our foreign policy has gotten. That they've actually convinced us to go kill people, and then after like their whole family dies, to bring them here because they're really happy that their whole family died. I don't know, come on.
It's nuts. I mean, and it's not just, like putting up like cultural centers and putting up statues of pagan gods and stuff like this. No offense, Mandrill.
Hey, don't let me in with those cheats, okay?
No, I had to get it in there. But just look at this graphic out of Minnesota here. It's not just the fact that they, are building statues and destroying communities, but look at this. So this is the famous autism relief that was going on during COVID, and that there's now come out that millions upon millions of dollars have been stolen by the Somalis who imagine that a country whose IQ average is somewhere around 65 bring their people over here, and in all the tests that comes off as, oh, you're just autistic over here in the United States, when really it's just, no, you're an idiot third worlder. This ties in nicely to the story we talked about earlier about the school system for illegal Mexicans, and that's what's dropping down the test score statistic quite a bit, I'm sure. But look here, they just show up and they immediately start thieving. They immediately start stealing shit. It's like we all know the statistics that come out of Denmark, a place who's been having these mass immigration issues for longer than we have, as a result from the people from this region of the world. We know what these people do, and we see all the statistics. The only people who are net contributors to the tax system are people from from Western Europe. Western Europe and the United States, and it used to be Canada, but that's up in the air now at this point too, and Australia. So the Anglosphere and Western Europe, those are the only people who are net contributors to the tax system when you let it on your immigration system. Some individual countries from Eastern Europe, but not the whole region as a whole. The entire Middle East, dead. The entire South Asia, Southeast Asia, dead. All of Africa, dead. South America, dead. Just completely destroys your tax system. And it's like, oh, well, we're just going to let these people over here because magical GDP. And here they are stealing almost $400 million from the state treasury. It's just so obvious to anyone with a brain. Yeah, here we go. Here's our Sugar and Gordon from Black Hawk Down. just
Those
so
guys
out
look
there.
like they could get shit done.
Yep. Damn right.
But you have to be able to. They're not unleashed. They're not. I mean, people. I bring this up all the time. One of the reasons I like became a libertarian in 2008 and started following Ron Paul. Ron Paul literally ran in 2008 on bringing the military home and putting them on our borders. Snipers and it sounds great. Then of course, but that only goes so far when you realize the real fucking problem is the legal immigration, the people coming in on planes.
This is something that I brought up when I was messaging Sargon on Twitter earlier this week, where they have this issue in the UK where people will go on the street and do interviews with people because obviously the migration is out of control. And when they poll the British people, they ask them oh, well, how many illegal immigrants do they think are in the country? And they widely overestimate the amount of illegal immigrants. But it's the same thing over here in the sense of people cannot fathom the amount of betrayal that has been done to them at the hands of their own government, that they just assume all of the various Indians or the various Mexicans or whoever, pick your group that shouldn't be here at all in the first place. And they just assume this must have been done illegally. And it's no, actually, it's the same thing with the Haitians in Ohio. It's those people were put there legally by the Biden administration. Okay. The legal immigration is much bigger problem than the illegal stuff.
I mean, the American people and all peoples of the West require justice at this point. We are crying out for justice, for relief, and for really just political representation, because our interest is not represented at all in the system currently. At all.
No taxation without mass deportations.
Based.
Yeah, absolutely. So, why don't we catch up on some of these super chats here, and then we got a couple more stories to tackle tonight, gents. So, moving up to the top of the list, we got our most prolific super chatter. As always, it is Solid Snake 1964 for $10. He says, "Evening, gents. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? My family doesn't like turkey, unfortunately." What? Deport immediately. I do.
That is un-American.
I knew he was a cheat.
Get him out of here.
So he's not having beef for Thanksgiving.
So we are having a tri-tip and the usual holiday sides with my mother's candied mash, sweet potatoes. Oh, those could be good.
He's having beef.
Hope you all have a good Thanksgiving and have good drinks and eat plenty of good food. Well, I will say this, and this is a controversial take, but nonetheless, it is 100% correct. The only way to eat a turkey on Thanksgiving is to deep fry it. This is a well-known fact. People can have their oven roasted turkeys all you want, but I'm not waiting around 6 hours for this bird to cook. It's going to be dry. It's going to suck by the end of it. No, I am taking 45 minutes. I'm putting my 17-pound turkey in the deep fryer. That thing is going to be done, carved, ready to be served within 90 minutes of being taken out of the fridge. This is the correct way to do it and the tastiest way to do it. So just don't burn down your houses.
You're more than welcome to be wrong. That's your right as a real American.
But you have objections to this, Pete? Well, how would you prepare a turkey?
Oven baked.
Oh no!
Aren't you? Don't you live?
I have here's a look. I'm supposed to be like the brown one over here, and how do I have lower time? How do I have lower time preference than you?
It's not about lower time preference. It's about taste.
It's it gets cold. It gets cold by the time you let it sit out there for a little bit, and then you go and carve it and stuff. No way, man! You got to carve that thing. Put some gloves on. Take it right out of the deep fryer. No, that thing is ready. Go for it. Put it on a giant cutting board. Take your knives. Get going. No,
it is good stuff.
Get some peanut. Get some peanut oil to fry it in. It is so good. Yeah. What's your guys' favorite Thanksgiving sides? You guys big fans of the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, cornbread? You guys like your cranberries?
My family makes they make cheesy potatoes. And if I told you the recipe, you would probably roll your eyes with how much fat is in it, because it's like butter, like cream, 2 sticks of cream cheese, like cheese on top. Yeah, it's insane. But it's the most amazing thing you've ever had.
So I've never, I don't know that I've ever taken it for Thanksgiving since we started doing Thanksgiving with my wife's family. But my family has this recipe where you like put like macaroni, a layer on the bottom, and then a layer of cheese on top of it, and all pats of butter, and then salt and pepper. And then you do a bunch of layers like that. You top it off with cheese, and then you put like a half a gallon of milk into it. And then you put it in the oven and bake it. You've never tasted anything like that.
Yeah, the mac and cheese is definitely becoming more and more popular as the years go by. It definitely wasn't as big a thing, at least when I was growing up. I don't remember it too much, but I mean, I'm not opposed to having a mac and cheese included in the Thanksgiving meal. But anyway, I mean, I always like a good mashed potatoes myself. And get some good gravy on there, and take your cornbread and dip it in the gravy. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Thanksgiving is rapidly becoming one of my favorite holidays as I get older. And Thanksgiving is great. Big fan. So, and another thing on this topic of Thanksgiving, I despise people who start putting up Christmas decorations as soon as they take down the Halloween stuff. Like, this is anti-Thanksgiving propaganda that you guys are spewing right now. No, Thanksgiving, all of November is in preparation for your Thanksgiving feast. Then you can start doing your Christmas stuff. Once you get into December. This is just ridiculous.
When is the appropriate time for Christmas music?
After Thanksgiving dinner has been completed.
I would say that.
That's my family too. Yeah, that's my family too.
Yeah. I would say that is acceptable. Yes.
I had to put my foot down on that one because my mom wanted to play Christmas music during Thanksgiving dinner, and so I had to come to a compromised truce. And so she plays it exactly after dinner and basically during Thanksgiving dessert. Which is,
I would say this is acceptable. I'd say at the very least that is acceptable. I mean, I think it shouldn't be until December, but it's close enough. Well, I guess it depends on the year though, because like Thanksgiving could be a little bit earlier. But anyway, so Christopher Burks for $5. His reminder: Lincoln put a federal judge under house arrest. Salute. Yeah, and he actually deported a sitting member of congressman as well. Deported him to the South. So this is like the thing that you point out all the time, like the great BoomerCon hero of the Republican Party, the first Republican, Abraham Lincoln. It's like, dude, the guy wanted to send all the blacks back to Liberia. He put journos in prison. He censored members of Congress, locked up federal judges, and deported people. It's like
suspended habeas corpus in the state of Maryland, if I remember correctly.
Unbelievable. It's just like they don't even. It's like what Thomas says all the time. It's like they don't even know their own lore. I mean, I know he refers to this when he's talking about leftists, but I mean, it's like. Even though like the own guys, they just don't know. It's really radical. You can't be really radical. The pendulum's going to swing back and go the other way. Here we got Dawn Browning, our most prolific female super chatter, sends us 20 Australian bucks, and this time it is a anthropomorphic video game controller throwing a tantrum on the ground and saying "rage quit." Well, thank you, Dawn Browning, the only woman in the chat. We appreciate you greatly. Let's see. Lib LJ for $20. Speaking of immigrants and hunting, Hmong in my area, and they shoot everything they see. They ignore bag limits and shoot stuff like blue jays on any public land they have access to. God, it's so infuriating. I mean, the Anglos, the Americans, and the Japanese are the only people that care about conservation, period. Everybody else would just kill every last living creature on the entire planet if they had the opportunity to. And I'm tired of saying otherwise.
If that's who I think it is making that comment, I know where he lives, and I can't believe that they're like that would be that so many of them where he is. That's fucking unbelievable.
They're everywhere, man. There's just it doesn't matter where you go. Like you go to like the most podunk area of the middle of nowhere, and you find like the random Chinese guy or the random, Haitian or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. They're everywhere. They're all like literally in Idaho. I saw there was some dude who got like arrested this week by ICE, and it was like, where in Idaho was that? It wasn't Coeur d'Alene, but it was one of those other areas. And it's like, why are there like fucking illegal Mexican immigrants in Idaho? There's no defense
they're
for it.
fucking everywhere, man.
Dude, I'm telling you. Oh, go ahead, Pete.
I was up on Lookout Mountain up in northwest Georgia. I mean, it's up in the mountain. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's the only gas station like we could find. We had to find a gas station, and we had to drive to find one. Guess who was running it? You don't. Yeah, you don't even have to guess. You know, it's up on a fucking mountain.
Unbelievable. So, I'm telling you, man, like nothing is going to turn me into like a huge Luddite than like the mass immigration stuff, man. It like just might turn into like a pinko commie at this rate, you know, because this is just so unacceptable. It's like the economic arguments. Fuck you. None of them are real. All of it's bullshit. All right. Moving on to one of my favorite super chatter names that shows up in the chat. City Breakdancer Man for $5 says, my gym got better when ICE came to Chicago. A group of Mexican women would be there every morning at 5 a.m. taking up space. Not a cheap gym either. I mean, it's just literally everything, man. It's just simple laws of supply and demand. Everything gets better when you got less people. Everything. Ugh.
That's such a great euphemism, city breakdancer. A city breakdancer got involved in a mass shooting this weekend.
Mm. Yeah, you think it'd be like a new New York Post like title or something. It's like city breakdancer man, you know, pushed unsuspecting Ukrainian woman in front of subway train today. It's like a Mad Lib or something, you know. Do you remember those like when you were kids? Like pick a fruit, you know, pick something. You know? It's just New York Post headlines getting around the issue. Judge Lot for $10 says, "Good evening, gents. RedHawk, what's the best way to contact you for off-topic questions? Just DM me on Twitter. That's the easiest way to do it." Judge Lot for $20 again says, I reached out to the OGC about a Louisiana Mississippi chapter. They got back to me the next day and said they would forward me the info to Louisiana people. Never heard back and waited 4 weeks to send a follow-up. How long should I wait to send another follow-up? I don't want to be a nag. Thanks. Now, listen, man, go out of your way, please. Like, get out there, be a nag. You know, please do it. I mean, it's we get constant influx of people all the time, and sometimes people slip through the cracks. So don't feel like you're being a nag or anything like that. You know, we want to get you involved with people. So moving on to Pete Budapest again for $10. The weird irony is that the left has sort of an idea of what's coming as far as the rage from young men. Mainstream conservatives still have literally no idea what's coming. I mean, that's certainly true. I mean, like, listen here, we make jokes and we laugh all the time about like the Democrats when they send that like 400-pound walrus, like Olivia, what's her Mexican Spanish, not a name or whatever, you know, to, you know, go talk to young men and bring young men back on the plantation. I mean, we laugh at that, but it's like, okay, just because they do like a shitty job of it, I mean, at least they're actually looking in that direction, you know. And like the conservatives on this side just have like their thumbs up their ass, you know, just are intentionally keeping people down, whether they think we're too radical or they're just completely oblivious to actually propping up their own people, or they're just, you know, selfish. Any number of these things could be it, and all of them are bad. So I mean, there definitely is something to be said for that.
I mean, the left is Hegelian. They understand dialectics. They understand the way these things play out and how they work. And conservatives have no clue whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Main focus on the conservatives. They need to go. They all need to go. Every single one of them.
Every time.
The defenestration of the boomers, yes.
Every time, man. Mikey Machines for $5. It wasn't the Democrats that enriched the part of the state I'm from. Yeah, that's you know, that again, I mean, no disagreements, man. I mean, it literally is. It's like if you vote in the Democrat, they replace you with illegal immigration. If you vote in the Republican, they replace you with legal immigration. It's like either way, you're just completely screwed. No matter what we do. Pete Budapest again for $10. Not to rehash it, but the Christmas rant from Vivek was more than just a stupid nerd. It was vindictive and passive aggressive towards the Chuds on Christmas, the one day that excludes the Poop Alliance. Wow.
I mean that had to be pre-planned. Like you knew that was intentional. Like
yeah, I mean they thought that everyone was like gonna not. They thought they were gonna get away with it when nobody was looking. Well.
Yeah, exactly. But some of us were. I remember it. I was there. I was there, Gandalf.
Yeah. It's like a badge that people have for serving in the meme war. It's like, yeah, I was there during the great Christmas Day H-1B war. Where were you?
I stood the watch. Yes.
Thomas Wayne Riley for $15 says India kicked out their capable colonizers only to colonize the entire world with some of the most incompetent people on the entire planet. The English built their nation and the Indians are destroying everywhere they go. Y'all see the river in England that was stuffed with trash. I did see that. I wonder who did it. Yeah, I mean, well, we see this kicking off in Canada as well. And, it's only a matter of time. I mean, we've already seen it. I mean, it's of like a different sort with like some of the national parks where people are setting up like these drug dens and stuff in the middle of our national forests and stuff. But it's only a matter of time before we see stuff like, the Rouge River in Detroit. It's just covered with trash, from corner to corner. I mean, it's only a matter of time. Again, it's just the environment is like white people are the only people that care about the environment. And a nice honorable mention to the Japanese. Everybody else just doesn't care about it. And this is just a fact.
I think the Japanese only appear to care about the environment because they hate the Chinese so much.
I'd buy that.
They just do everything opposite of what they do.
Which, I mean, in all fairness, fair enough to them. That's fair play, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, no problem. Yeah. No problem there.
Nevada Ebby for $77. Thank you. That's the big super chat of the night. Sends us a salute to the OGC. Well, a salute
real Americans.
Yeah, real Americans is right. Thank you. Matty Ice for $10 says, many don't know this, but in the 70s, Alan Dershowitz defended the public showing in possession of snuff films so long as the victim was not a U.S. citizen. He argued this is on TV, not for a client. Really? Color me surprised.
I mean, that's some Talmudic reasoning right there.
Yeah, yep, exactly. A religion of loopholes, as
every single time.
Bolero 393 for $10 says shades of 7-Eleven Spain with post 9/11 immigration policy.
I mean, that is the point of immigration, is it not? The point is to prevent a majority population from being able to assert its will politically, even through non-democratic means, through using the cartridge box when the voting box has failed, isn't it? That is the entire point.
Yeah, good point. Chansey for $15 says, good evening, gentlemen. Having some annoying and painful compilations from some dental surgery. Oof, that's got to be like some of the worst kind that you can have for sure. Looking forward to Thanksgiving with my family, hopefully without your dental problems, and hope all is well with all of you. Salute the OGC. Well, I hope you have yes, you are indeed a real American, and I hope you have a speedy recovery from your mouth woes. I've never liked going to the dentist, man. That's just gotta be like one of the worst doctors to go to.
Going tomorrow.
Oh well, there you go. Get your let's see. Lane Habamak sends us $10 and a salute. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Real Americans.
Yeah, real Americans, indeed. Pete Budapest again for $5. Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria. Yeah, wait until you hear about their treatment in the U.S. Yeah, exactly. I'm supposed to care about the Nigeria problem when now again, this is the thing I bring up all the time. It's like the ancestral home of Christianity is about to be completely conquered through mass immigration. And I'm sorry, I don't care if there's a billion Christians outside of Europe. I don't care. It literally does not matter if we have like a couple 100,000 Nigerians that are Christians. Not one of them is going to build a Sistine Chapel. And if that's like something that upsets people, too bad. Aramaic discourse for $10. They were made legal with a pen stroke. They could be deported with a pen stroke. Yeah, one would think, right?
Well, I mean, there's a Star Wars named judge just waiting to say that that's not legal.
Yeah, it's just so ridiculous. Machiavelli sucks for $5. Says, I was at the tax office paying for a yearly car sticker today, and it was empty. Shows ICE raids are scaring the illegals. Oh, interesting.
Awesome. Very nice. Huh. Yeah, Machiavelli sucks to go. That is another username that I have not heard for a long time.
Yeah, he's an OG. He's been around for a very long time indeed. Yeah. So has another guy, Bolero393. He's been around for ages. For $10. Says Shugart and Gordon gave their lives to defend Michael Durant from the Somali hordes. Their bodies were desecrated by the current residents of Minneapolis. Why do anything to earn a Medal of Honor? Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they were like the first guys to receive it. Like after their death, right? Since like Vietnam, I believe was like there's something really significant about how these guys won their Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
something like that.
That sounds right.
Yeah. But man, real Americans, if ever we saw them, right there. Charles Carroll for $5 says, if I never had a deep fried turkey, am I out of the club? Yep, you're out. Throwing you out right now, Charles Carroll. You got to rectify that, especially in your part of the country where Thanksgiving is such an important holiday for many reasons. Everybody gets together, and it's very important in his part of the country, I would say.
I have a question about the deep frying of turkeys. Is that like an originally Southern thing to do? Like, I would imagine it would be.
I don't know the origins of where like the deep frying came from, but whatever it is, it's definitely the correct way.
Fun fact, I mean, it only took 10 houses being burned down before they perfected it.
I think more than 10. I think more than 10 burned down every year.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it is dangerous. Like, you guys, I'm telling you, if people do it, what my
defrost your turkey beforehand.
Well, there's that, and then also what my family has done for years is we took a C-clamp and attached it to a coat hanger and put it at the end of a broomstick, and that is what you use to lower it down, because normally people like put it in with like a glove or something, and it's just not enough, because eventually you got to lower that bird in very slowly to make sure it doesn't overflow, and then the oil catches from the burner underneath, and then you have all hell breaks loose. It's got to be lowered very slowly, and if you're just standing there like with your arm or something there, eventually some of that oil is going to spray out, and it's like over 300 degrees, man. Like, your body is just going to react. You're not going to be able to tough that stuff out, and the next thing you know, you drop the whole bird in there, it overflows, you got fires breaking out all over the place, and it's over. So
drum falls over and the bird goes on the ground.
yeah, it's over. So I mean, and if you're in a part of the country where it's not 6 feet of snow on the ground, I mean, just do it outside in the middle of your driveway, man. Again, like, it's not going to take too long.
Or even if it is 6 inches of snow on the ground, you should still do it outside because it's cooler that way.
Yeah, that's true as well. I mean, you guys could tough it out. Get away from the ladies inside and bring out your whiskey cider or something. So keep yourself warm. Talk about man stuff. Watch some football. Anyway, moving on to Sea Cider once again for $10. They're debating how to cook a turkey. Everyone in chat is now entitled to tell them why they are wrong and why your way is best. Salute.
For real Americans.
Everyone in the chat is wrong except for me. Vulpes Persona for $10. All your based all are belong to us. I get what he did there. Yeah, you gotta baste your turkey. Yeah. based turkey.
How easy is it to dry it out if you keep it in there too long?
Like in the fryer, you mean? For too long?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, like it does like a really good job of actually just having the oil seep into the bird. By cooking it in there.
I've never had a dry deep fried turkey.
Yeah,
It's like almost impossible. It's a foolproof method.
I mean, I suppose like if you like were really to nuke it and we're not paying attention, but well, here's my other thing. Okay, so everybody knows and complains about like the EPA regulated gas cans, how it's like a fucking padlock on it to just like pour your gas in the back of your tractor.
Oh yeah, I just get regular.
Yeah, you got to get the old ones, which are
the spouts,
weight in gold, basically. But they've done the exact same thing with the turkey fryers. So there's like 10 safety features in there now. So you have to make sure that you set the timer, and the timer doesn't go faster than like 10 minutes. So you have to constantly be like out there resetting the timer on it, or it's going to shut off the propane and everything. So, I mean, at this point, I don't think you're going to be able to really like nuke one of these birds in one of these things just with the safety features. So... But I would give it a try. I mean, you need to have the right equipment for sure. But I definitely recommend it if people haven't tried it before. Your mind will be changed. I mean, this is like the kind of turkey I would recommend to people if you are one of those people who says, I don't like turkey. Turkey sucks. I'm like, dude, have a deep fried turkey, and your opinion is going to change.
Anyone who says they don't like turkey gets deported.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's the immigration test, right? Here, we're gonna give you this piece of turkey and this bacon cheeseburger. Eat this right now.
I mean, it's truly the most American of meats, is it not? It's indigenous to our land.
It is. It absolutely is. Well, this is why, like,
although isn't like the best turkey?
Yeah.
Isn't the best turkey hunting in Mexico?
Well, I guess it kind of depends on which type of turkey you're going after, right? Because there's 5 different kinds, but they do have good hunting for turkey in northern Mexico. They do, but I would my personal opinion would be that Texas probably has the best for the Rio Grande turkey, but also you could check out the eastern United States for turkey as well, and turkey hunting is now in 49 of the 50 states. Anyone want to take a guess which state doesn't have the turkey hunting? It's not that difficult, but it is Alaska. Alaska is the only state in the union where you cannot hunt turkey. It's too cold for them up there. So, but yeah, everyone give it a shot. Turkey hunting is a lot of fun.
I mean, you can go grouse hunting up in Alaska, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, I will say this though: wild turkey is just not as good as farm turkey. The farm turkey tastes way better. All right, moving on. Paulie B for $5. Keep up the fire. Salute the OGC. He's a real American.
Real Americans.
Yeah, real American. I like that. Skibum220, one of our most prolific super chatters, sends us $50 and a salute.
Real Americans.
Damn right, he absolutely is a real American. Thank you very much. Jeremy Kearns for $10. Enjoyed your Nathaniel Green Society appearance on hunting. Dude, I did too, man. Like, it's a topic I don't remotely get enough time to talk about, and it truly is my greatest passion and love in life. So whenever I have the opportunity to just have an hour dedicated to talking about hunting, man, oh man, it makes me happy. Very good. After this last 2 weeks of Trump, should he resign and appoint Miller as VP? No. We're not saying this. No, ridiculous. But on that topic, actually, of the Nathaniel Green appearance, there is an event going on in just a few weeks down in Tampa, Florida, on December 6th. If you guys who are OGC members would like to come on down, there is going to be a public screening of my own production. My first episode of my hunting TV show is being publicly screened down here in Florida. So if that's something you guys are interested in, reach out to your chapter presidents, to your regional liaisons, and we'll get you guys a ticket for that event. But it's going to be great. We got a private theater all rented out for it. There's going to be cigars. There's going to be some whiskey. There's going to be merriment and good times had for all. So if that's something you guys want to be a part of, just message your presidents, and we'll get you in contact. Jeremy Kearns for $5. The Patel motel regime is real. Head an Indian classes 8 with the last name, and his family owned a motel.
There is there may be an app in Alabama showing you hotels and gas stations that are not owned by a certain group.
Well, definitely take a look at that one. I mean, by all means, boycott these businesses for sure. So,
in my local area, I have to choose for like a dry cleaner. They're all owned by Jeets too, and so I have to like go to the Mexican one instead of the Jeet one.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Mine is a little old white lady who does all the dry cleaning and stuff in our town. It's pretty awesome.
That's lucky. Yeah, I don't have that.
There you go. Count Artha. I always want to say Arthas. For $10 says the first day of Advent is November 30th. The 12 days of Christmas end on January 6th. People who take their decorations down before New Year's are heathens. Well, I can see no arguments with that one. So agreed. Pete Budapest once again for $5. The people who advocate for immigration for economic reasons don't even believe it. The externalities are obvious. Motivated by maliciousness or not money. Yep. I mean, it's just so obvious at this point. Shocker. A 60 IQ Somalian is not going to be as good for the economy as a red-blooded American. Who would have thought? Bolero 393 for $5 says spatchcock the turkey and put it in the roaster. Deep frying is not worthy of a proto-aristocrat. No.
Deported.
Unacceptable. Unbelievable. No. You're not a real American, Bolero 393. The Shadow Band for $5 is a real American, though, because he sends us $5 and a salute.
Real Americans.
Real Americans. Yeah. And then finally, we got Cletus for $5. If trains are considered the apex predator of the Indian, are we going to get a RedHawk documentary about big train hunting? No, a part of me does really envy the pit hat wearing British aristocrat guy who got to walk around the Bengali, jungles in the early 20th century and, got to shoot like tigers and stuff like that. Man, what a hunt that would have been. But no, India is just a horrible place and not made for any of us at this point. No. I wouldn't take the path through India unless I had no other choice. All right. So back to our stories, guys. We got a couple more to power out here. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats tonight. One of the things that we have to discuss, we were talking about, plan trusting and everything like this, mentioning, the response that some people in the Trump administration have had to some pretty, blatant, brazen, and treasonous behavior coming from Democrats. And this one really kind of just took the cake this week. And let's listen. This is Senator Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan, a former CIA
Every single time.
Yep. Let's listen in.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
How dare they use that phrase?
I know. Commodore Perry would be rolling over in his grave.
Can we just agree that the only reason they even did that video is because they knew nothing was going to happen to them?
Oh, exactly. 100%. No, I mean, they're literally causing...
and obviously, look at the Secretary of War up there.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that really got me. I couldn't believe this. Well, I mean, let me rephrase. I shouldn't be able to have found this likely, but it's kind of just par for the course these days. I mean, they did nothing after Charlie Kirk, so what makes you think they're going to do something with this? But it's just so ridiculous that the response that all these guys have is, oh, look, it's stage 4 TDS. Let's make jokes about this. Let's make some cool new edits on, the Homeland Security Twitter page and stuff. It's like, listen, man, I was willing to give these guys quite a bit of rope and go along with the memes and laugh with everybody else. But
no pun intended. Let's
yeah.
just say you weren't willing to give.
Yeah.
Don't mention rope.
Exactly. So I was willing to go along with a lot of this stuff, but at this point where people are making memes about Trump calling a reporter fat or something, and it's like you have Democrats openly calling for treasonous behavior from the people who are in the United States military to basically do a coup against the president and the Secretary of War and stuff, and the response is, look at these idiot Democrats. It's like, dude, when are you gonna fucking take these people seriously, man? It's the time for jokes is long past, man. And it's just nobody knows what time it is. Nobody takes any of this stuff seriously. I mean, I guess we're just going to have to remember this response that Pete Hegseth gave the next 10 times the next Charlie Kirk gets shot in the face. Well, it's just...
Nobody likes a good owning the libs joke or post than I do. But the only ones that I'm going to celebrate from now on is people like this heading to jail. If they're in handcuffs, if they're being friggin' frog marched, the time for owning the libs is fucking over. Yeah, I mean, this may make boomers laugh. This may make people who, don't understand the situation we're in, laugh, but this doesn't make me laugh. This just makes me think you're completely unserious. You can't do the job, and you should go back to being a weekend fucking news host.
Yeah, it's like, Pete, they're going to put you in jail. Referring to the Pete on this podcast and the Pete, in the picture right here. It's like, they're going to prosecute you guys. They're going to put you in jail. They're going to impeach you. They're going to ruin your lives. And you're just gonna, just be joking about this. It's like, get serious, man. Get real. We're playing for keeps. And this is just what, again, another thing that is just so frustrating coming from Trump's base, especially within the last several weeks. It's like, you guys aren't playing to win, man. And we already see it. Everybody already sees what's going on. We see the moves that the Democrats are making. They're going to come back with such a vengeance next year in 2026. It's just going to be a complete bloodbath at the midterms.
I mean, just listen to the West Wing soundtrack that they got laid over this entire clip here. I mean, what is this representing, right? Oh, this is the pro-America thing. Oh, we stand for Americanism or something. We stand for a constitution. They don't give a shit about the Constitution. They're tacking to the right. You guys need to go to the right as well. Okay, you don't tack to the center. They're outflanking you from the right here.
I love how they said in that clip there that you signed the Constitution to defend from enemies both foreign and domestic. It's like, yeah, I'm looking at the domestic enemy right here in this video. just the base is going to continue to get frustrated. People are continue to become more radical. People are going to continue to be uneasy. It's like until you guys actually start getting serious. And people are just going to lose faith, man, even more than they already are right now. And you can't just win me over anymore. Like, 2016 style, making fun of journos at press conferences and stuff. Like, you just can't do it anymore. You can't win me over with, Pokemon memes about how we got to deport them all. It's like, yeah, that's really funny, but you need something real here. I think Prude tweeted this out earlier today. Is like, all this rhetoric without action only emboldens the enemy. It's like, yeah, it's 100% true. No, they feel like they can keep making more videos like this because nothing happens to them.
Yeah, I mean, these are the same people who will line up and lie and will say, "Oh, I've seen, somebody showed me evidence that Trump is controlled by Putin," or I mean, that's what these people are. And when I see these people, I don't see anyone different than a Star Wars name judge. They should all be treated the same way. That's why I'm just not taking this seriously anymore. Thanks for the wins, and hopefully we can get some more in the future. But if I can't trust you to put people like this in jail for doing this, which if this was right wingers doing it with a when Biden was president, they'd be in fucking Gitmo. I mean, really, fuck these people at this point. If you can't tell, I mean, it's like, what? Oh, this is hilarious. This isn't fucking funny. It's not funny anymore. Anyone who thinks it's funny is it shouldn't be dealing with politics. Shouldn't even be thinking about politics. Should be mowing lawns or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's the same thing when you run into like these ridiculous characters like Joel Berry's or something who think like the right wing is in ascendancy here because we won like one election. It's the same thing with these guys. They just think like, we won the election. We had like 3 weeks of turbo baseness by having a bunch of executive orders at the start of the administration. Win now? It's like, no, guys, like we're not even remotely close to where we need to be. Not at all. And actually, the enemy has gotten significantly emboldened under, the last like 9 months, and especially in the last like 10 weeks since Charlie Kirk was shot.
Well, and considering the path that the Jerusalem Bee has taken, the Joel Berrys and the Seth Dillons, I guess we know exactly what the tit for tat was for them to get back on Twitter.
Yeah, good point.
They have to become one of the great. Did you see it today where he was like, "Oh, the woke right is dead." He goes, "We've won. We're the ascendant right." It's like, dude, I mean, that's just basically the same kind of shit James Lindsay was saying in 2022. Classical liberalism hasn't even started yet. Classical liberalism, you get those paddles that George Clooney used on ER. You can't wake up. You can't wake up friggin' classical liberalism. Come on.
Yeah, it's wild. Oh, I mean, well, everybody get your popcorn out for tomorrow though, because from the grapevine, there's going to be a bitch slapping of Joel Berry occurring tomorrow. So everyone, get your popcorn ready for it because I'm sure it'll be fun. Anyway, moving on from this, we got one final story to address for the evening, and this one was kind of like a latecomer to the panel because this is something that just broke earlier today. And you guys remember GOP would-be hopeful candidate for the presidency in 2016, Mr. Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas, whose daughter is now the governor of Arkansas as well, and who was the former White House press correspondent. Well, So people would wonder, what did old Mike Huckabee do during this Trump administration after he was no longer the governor? Well, he is the United States ambassador to Israel. Well, so, everybody just fails up in the world, I guess, in this case, right? So Mike Huckabee held meetings at U.S. Embassy with American who spied for Israel, Jonathan Pollard, who was convicted of espionage, said in an interview that the meeting, which was highly unusual for a U.S. diplomat to attend, was very friendly.
I mean, this is the guy who went to Israel
every single time.
This is the guy who went to Israel to go play a boomer rock concert. Okay, he got his dream job. I mean, this is what he wanted his whole life. All right.
Look, I mean, Pollard is, if I'm not mistaken, Pollard is one of the ones responsible for stealing nuclear secrets, right? And giving them to Israel.
I thought those were Rosenbergs.
Oh no, no. Oh, I'm not nuclear secrets, but like nuclear materials.
Oh.
Am I right here? I know Benjamin Netanyahu definitely did that. He had stolen triggers and taken them back to Israel. But I mean, this is a guy who was in prison for what, 30 years?
Yeah, it was 30 years
or something here. Yeah, and then Rabbi Trump pardons him, probably on the same day with a bunch of rappers. Because we know who his favorite people. Just mentioned his two favorite people right there, and then this guy gets on Benjamin Netanyahu, or no, not Benjamin Netanyahu, but who's the ones that gives Trump all the money? What's the name of that? The woman and her husband that died.
Adelson.
The Adelsons, uses Adelson's plane to go back to Israel. Is met with a kiss on the tarmac by Benjamin Netanyahu. Now he has a podcast of all things, and he is like running for office over there. I mean, what more evidence do you need that these people aren't our friends? That this country hates us? That all we are is, I mean, they're like a tapeworm, and we're literally like, their victim. What more do we need? What more?
Here we go. Statement. Jews in the U.S. accuse you of having dual loyalties. This is literally a question posed, to Pollard. And he says, and I quote, "If you don't like the accusation of double loyalty, then go the fuck home. It's as simple as that. If you live in a country where you are constantly under that charge, then you don't belong there. You go home. You come home. If you are outside of Israel, then you live in a society in which you are basically considered unreliable." No fucking shit. I wonder why. The bottom line on this charge of dual loyalty is, I'm sorry, we're Jews. And if we're Jews, we will always have dual loyalty. Yeah, no fucking shit.
Oh,
Holy shit.
What did Joe Sobran say? Dual loyalty, but would be a good start. Would be like an improvement.
Oh yeah, this is a good point. I mean, yeah, that implies they have any loyalty here, which they have none.
What is with that yellow, like yellow
AIDS ribbon?
AIDS ribbon that they got there. Like, what is with that? Like, usually that's like a thing that's associated with American stuff. It makes me wonder where all these sorts of like little ribbon campaigns come from. Like, why is that there?
You don't want to wear the ribbon? Whatever. I mean, it's just so obvious at this point. I mean, wow, amazing. The peace that Trump allegedly, put together with, Palestine and Israel after, 10,000 years or whatever was put to bed. And then shocker, the Israelis, opened fire, not even before the ink was dry. Who could have possibly predicted this? I mean, I will say this though, this is one topic I don't really like talking about too much these days, because it's honestly one of the few things that I am white-pilled about in the future, is that when you just look at the youth, I mean, they are never getting the youth back on this issue. It's just impossible. It's never going to work for them. Their days are numbered. I mean, they're going to be thrashing out like complete monsters, for the foreseeable future. But at least we have that to look forward to. Whether it's the anti-Zionist coalition they've created on the left, or the youth and the right in America. It's like Israel's like days of like being popular are gone as soon as the boomers go.
I mean, this is the reason why they are, using every possible lever, every mechanism to, to fight this rearguard action, to keep whatever residual influence that they have remaining in place. I mean, there's a reason for that, and they know it's a matter of time, so they're just going to tamp down as hard as they can while they still have control.
Yep, agreed. So, we're going already going a little long here tonight, and we got a bunch of super chats to read. So why don't we wrap that up, boys, and then everyone can have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, eh? All right. Moving on to the spot where we left off, we got Forever Bulk, cool name, for $20. Says, join the OGC, pray for Ohio. Yep, good point. Absolutely. And just pray for all of us, man. Pray for the USA, man. Dark times are coming. That's for certain. Blood-Based sends us $20 and no message. Well, thank you very much, Blood-Based. Bolero 393 again for $10. The Trump administration will tweet about these senators, but the U.S. attorney should be in front of grand juries asking for indictments. Oh, yeah, of course. But that would require Pam Bondi to not be sitting around with her thumb up her ass. So, God,
yeah, but that
we could have had
grand jury. That grand jury is literally going to be like friggin' with a bunch of names, like at the friggin' at the Senate in Star Wars in like episode 1,
Yeah, you got one guy from the banking clan, another from the techno union, the trade foundation,
and then fucking Jar Jar.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Count Arthas for $5 says, so you love the Constitution, huh? Tell me your thoughts on the 10th Amendment. So, might be a quote referencing something.
I'm a big federalism fan. Thank you very much. Yes.
There you go. Jeremy Kearns for $10. If you guys can teach my family to make not dry turkey, I'll start to enjoy it. I'm telling you, man, you gotta deep fry it. Do it. Go and deep fry it. We got Pete Budapest again for $10. This video actually represents more of an escalation from the left than people realize. They don't view any political action from anyone to the right as legitimate. Conservatives don't get it. Yeah, 100%.
Main focus on the conservatives. They need to go. They all need to go. Every single one of them.
It's one of my favorite ones we've added to the thing lately. Thank you, Mr. Fahrenheit, for your very correct response about the conservatives. And finally, we got Jeremy Kearns once again for $10, saying every single time.
It's without fail.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right. That's us for the super chats. That's us for the stories tonight, everyone. So we'll wrap this one up. Pete, what do you have to promote, my friend?
I just released an episode tonight with the OGC's own Christopher Sandbach, where we talked about heritage and all of the Con Inc. foundations and think tanks, and just how they're a dying breed, that their days are numbered. And, pretty much when the boomers are gone, there's only one group they could rely upon for money. And that's why you see the attack on Tucker and Nick and people like that right now. So, check it out. Sandy's always, his insights are valuable. invaluable.
Indeed. And he's a charming fellow. So, he's got that going for him too. So, all right. And then our chief chimping correspondent, our Simeon from Central, Mr. Raging Mandrill, what do you have to promote, sir?
Well, I'd just like to say first, thank you for for the wonderful intros. But I think I might steal those actually. But the I have nothing to shill at the moment, unfortunately. Life has been very busy for the last several months, and probably will be for the next several months, unfortunately. So which is a real bummer. It's a massive bummer. I would.
All of us got to survive, right? I mean, none of us are getting legs up from the government. Just imagine, if we had a government that worked for its own people. Who, man. What a novel idea.
Keep doing what you're doing, Mandrill.
Yep, I know. Yeah. I mean, I will say this: if there's any person who is of means listening to this, I mean, we basically run our organization entirely self-funded. So we're more than happy to accept dollar donations from big time funders. We would absolutely love to do what we do and to pay our guys to do a great job and to do what we do on a full-time basis. So, I mean, I'll just put that out there, unsolicited, but
yeah, indeed. It is just frustrating to see that, again, that giant walrus woman, Olivia, pudgy face pig, who weighs 400 pounds, got what was it, $250,000 to try and appeal to young men again. It's just, man, oh man, what we could do with even a fraction of that money. It really just is so daunting, the amount of coffers that our enemies have attached to. And they literally just had USAID, where they just took taxpayer funded money just to pay themselves to do activism.
Remember when we had Kevin Deanna on recently, and he said when he was in Con Inc., the question was asked, if you had unlimited amounts of money right now, what would you do? And what did they say? Host a debate.
Fucking kidding me.
And you wonder why you can't even get some fucking deportations.
It's just, man, oh man, unbelievable. Just makes you want to cry. Anyway, for myself, I will promote once again my appearance on Nathaniel Green Society from last night. That was an excellent discussion, again, on something that I really wish I had the opportunity to talk way more about, something that I really love. My first love is the great outdoors and hunting. So if people want to learn more about that, go check out those guys over there. They're doing some great work. And I will once again shill the event down in Florida on December the 6th. So it's coming up just in about 2 weeks here. If you guys are going to be down here and you would like to attend the airing of the hunting show, if you guys want to see what it's like being on safari, people know I was away for a couple of weeks earlier this year. I was out on safari. I was doing some hunting. So if you guys want to see what that is actually like, come to the public screening of the first episode of my hunting show. And it's going to be a fun time. So that's the last thing I'll promote. Now we'll get out of here. Everyone have a most blessed Thanksgiving. Eat your fill of your turkey, grab your stuffing, grab your your mashed potatoes and your cornbread and your cranberries, drink some good drinks, watch some football, go Lions, and everybody, we will be back here in 2 weeks for another episode. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
When I pass on my good genes to my sons, they're going to join the Old Glory Club.